It is no surprise to me that Shiny Happy People, the Duggar Family Secrets Duggar docuseries, is ranked number one right now on Amazon Prime because I was pretty well satisfied that there would be so many people tune into this. It would be just off the charts. Now, look. In episode one, they introduced us to the Duggar family and their situation. Now, Jim Bob's sister Deanna, she said we were brought up Missionary Baptist, which is a conservative Baptist. Now, I got some opinions and some thoughts on this because I am Missionary Baptist and grew up Missionary Baptist. So, a lot of the things that Deanna said, like they couldn't turn on the radio, they didn't have TVs, they couldn't go to they were real strict, they had to wear dresses, couldn't wear jeans. That's not Missionary Baptist, baby. Take it from a Missionary Baptist. I mean, I don't know what she's talking about. So this, in just the first 5 minutes, I was like, whoa. And I'm sure all of you out there who are Missionary Baptist as well are going, what? Because I know millions of Missionary Baptists around me. Do you hear me right now? Okay. Y'all, I'm like, what? We weren't allowed to go to dances. Yes, we were. As Missionary Baptists, yes, we were. Yeah. So I don't know what Deanna was talking about. Because she said they grew up Missionary Baptist. She didn't say they grew up IBLP. She was putting this off on Missionary Baptist. Now, as a Missionary Baptist, I'm like, no, no, boo-boo. Skirt. Was I surprised to see Amy Duggar King up in this docuseries? No, because in my opinion, Amy will answer any phone call that has to do with her getting a little bit of publicity because that's what she is, okay? She has always wanted to be famous, and that's why she has the name Famey. Oh, it's sad and it's cringeworthy, but it's true, and you can tell because she is, I'm talking, answering every email and every call where she has to discuss this family. She's like, oh, yes, ma'am. None of the other family will be, out there talking, but Amy gonna talk. Amy gonna talk. She just gonna talk just to be talking. She was talking about the show. She's like it's reality, but it's not. And then she's like, I don't know. These people, they come off as really fake to me. They really, with all the smiles and laugh, it's like, are you part of the Shiny Happy People? You are, because you're the one out here like, and you was just making fun of me. You was being a mean girl. Well, you said you wasn't, but you was. But anyway, I don't know. Amy Duggar over here like, I was so different from them, but I didn't know there was anything wrong with it. I was like, I was just all rock and roll. And then she was like, well, I had NSYNC and all the boy bands posters on my wall. I'm like, baby, that ain't rock and roll, okay? Okay. Tell us about your Metallica and your Ozzy and your Black Sabbath and all the rock and roll posters and that background, okay? Because you ain't rock and roll. And then she was talking about being over there every day, and that's how country they were. I was like, what are you doing? Are you trying to make yourself relatable? Huh? She's like, I would go over there and during recess, I would literally sneak into the cow pasture. Well, my family is cattle farmers. Okay. That's pretty normal around here. So I'm confused why the docuseries, she's like, that's how country we were. Like, what did that have to do with anything? What did that have to do with the IBLP and the cult that they're in? And the fact that her and Deanna sat back and kicked back like four flats on a Cadillac while all this was going on. They didn't say not one word until the show was canceled. Did y'all notice that? Y'all notice that? They couldn't get no more camera time from the show. They was complicit during the show, Amy and Deanna. I mean, it's just, to me, I see it for what it is. But, some people don't. They talking about you couldn't turn on the radio in the Duggar home and Jim Bob Michelle's home. You couldn't watch TVs. Amy said that they didn't have TVs. And she asked her Uncle Jim Bob a long time ago that if they didn't believe in TVs, why are they on TV? And he replied, well, it's a ministry. See, To me, I see it for what it is. I'm telling you, they had no issues with none of this while the show was airing, while they was being filmed. They didn't speak out. Amy and Deanna didn't speak out and say it was disturbing and deceitful until there was no more show. There was no more claim to fame. You get what I'm saying? For them, anyway. This was their only claim to fame now, as if they... Y'all, it's obvious to me. But anyway, interesting enough, in this episode 1, they talked about how Josh Duggar had a boys' club growing up, which, I mean, hey, that's normal. We all got the girls' club, the boys' club, no girls allowed, blah, blah, blah. But his boys' club was called Boycott. Christians over whatever, Christian, blah, blah, blah. You know what they was doing? The local store down the street started selling pornography magazines and alcohol, and they was against it. Josh Duggar and them, the boy group. It was weird to me, because I'm like, yeah, y'all, we all know what he's in prison for right now. Okay, so that's a touchy subject. No pun intended, but that subject about him wanting to boycott the pornography. Now, look, let's talk about Jill real quick, okay? Jill, bless her heart. Bless her heart. I think she's in there with Amy at this point. I hate to say that. I really do, but Lord have mercy. I don't think that this book she has coming out is going to tell y'all anything. When I say y'all, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not excited about reading this book, because in my heart, she ain't gonna say nothing. I know she ain't gonna spill no tea that everybody's thinking. It's just gonna talk about what we already heard about, what we already know, what they've already said a million times. If you pay attention, these reality stars, they do this. They say the same exact thing. Sometimes they reword it. Sometimes they don't. It's just the same regurgitated BS over and over and over again. They don't never tell you nothing new. It's kind of like Gwendolyn Brown. When she come on the scene with her YouTube channel, everybody thought she was about to spill some tea, and then it ended up being the complete opposite. Now, look, I thought this was supposed to be about old Billy Gothard over here, Bill. Oh, Bill. Let me tell y'all what I think is ironic about Bill, and what I haven't heard any creator or any outlet speak on. I'm going to speak on it. Ironically enough, Bill thinks he has the rules and regulations and guidelines on how women and men should live their lives and cohabitate, and how these kids should be raised. But guess what? Despite a cornerstone of his religious teaching centering around the family, Gothard has never been married himself. Womp womp. Instead, he instructed followers to follow a male's purity and female obedience, familial structure, and to center their lives around biblical character. In addition to encouraging his congregation to have large families, Gothard provided homeschooling material, guidelines on male and female dress codes, and more. This is why I'm kind of careful when I say this next thing. When I say I blame the people who follow this is what I mean. Hear me out. I don't blame the kids. I don't blame the kids. I don't blame the innocent ones. I blame the people who are in their right mind, like Jim Bob. We're all human. We know how to think. We all have, well, I would like to say we all have common sense, but we all know common sense ain't that common these days. If you believe in God, okay, you know God says, thou shalt have no false prophets before me, okay? You got this man over here telling you how to live your lives. He ain't even living that life. So why didn't anybody, any one of them, say, first off, Mr. Bill, Bill, yes, Bill, how are you going to tell me how to live my life? You ain't even living it. Okay, so that means, are you going to hell and I'm going to go to heaven? Because you ain't living the same life. Another thing, this Rebuilder's Guide that is available on eBay. Apparently, Bill, this is one of Bill's books as well. If somebody out here writing these books telling you that they got the rules of life, that right there should be a red flag alone. I don't know how these people get coerced and manipulated and brainwashed, because I'm over here, a whole ass human being with a mind of her own, going, and I'm a missionary Baptist, and I'm calling all kind of BS. I'm like, what? What is going on here? What is going on here? I'm so confused. And I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else like, I'm confused about this. I've seen people, which, I mean, granted, these people and these creators that are covering it, they're not religious. They don't have no religious background. They are not self-proclaimed. They are not proclaimed missionary Baptists like your girl over here. So they have no experience in this. They ain't been to church the whole time growing up like I have. Okay, you ain't been to church every Sunday night, Wednesday night, vacation, Bible school, and the trips, the church trips, the summer camps. So they wouldn't get it. I get it. I grew up with that. That was my childhood. So when somebody's trying to spin your this narrative like this is missionary Baptist, I'm like, no ma'am. No ma'am. First off, this is not missionary Baptist. I don't know why they started off like that, but they got it all wrong. So allow me to come on the scene and correct it. You're welcome. I have arrived. By the way, subscribe. Go ahead and click that bell. I don't know if I'm going to be watching any more of this. Now, I might watch and cover my part. Because y'all know I got a little part, okay? I got a little few sentences, or not even sentences. I got a few words I said. And I'm tickled over it. I'm tickled they were watching and included me. Really, I am. I mean, I said what I said. This family was relying on a food bank. What? Y'all, when I heard that, I looked at Dottie. I said, Lord, I've got to change the way I talk. Meaning, like, not my accent, because you can't change your accent. Like, you can try to child your accent gonna bleed all the way through. But, like, my tone, I hate my tone. I've always hated my tone. I've got 3,000 videos out, baby. I've hated the tone of my voice. Like, I think a lot of people do. Okay? To each their own. To each their own. That's just part of my little nitpicking myself. So I told him, I was like, I got to change this tone because it's annoying to me. I'm sure everybody else is like, that girl. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. I had to find something to smile and laugh at because this right here was a whole mess. Okay, talk about a circus. I'm like, y'all people need to open your Bibles. If there is any takeaway from this, open the King James Version of the Bible and read it. Look to God, turn to God, pray to Jesus. Okay. Smash that subscribe button while you're at it. I love you for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video.